Good morning, Year 9 and 10. It's Mr. Ali here. Hope everyone's safe and well and had a good week. Weather's been lovely, so hopefully you've managed to get out there and enjoy yourselves safely, of course. It's one of the things that we can be really grateful for, I think, is that during this sort of lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to call it, the weather's been quite good. And that leads on to today's assembly, really. I want to just take some time to reflect on a few things, okay? So we've been off school now for nearly 8 weeks, nearly 2 months, which is just absolutely crazy. You know, for me, the time has actually gone quite fast. Having said that, it is a long period of time not seeing you guys and for you to not be attending. You know, you've had to change the way you do your schoolwork. We've had to change the way we work, and people across the world have had to change the way they live, essentially. You know, everything has changed, and it's something which we could never have imagined happening, and it's affected everybody in the world, as I said. So today I just want to reflect on that a little bit and maybe have a think about what we take for granted and what we should be grateful for, okay? After I finish speaking, there's going to be a little YouTube video. It's about 3 to 4 minutes long. I had a look online to see what I could find that really gets a message across, and I'm hoping that you'll get something out of it and that you can relate to it. I certainly did. It's about really not taking things for granted and thinking about what's important, especially in this time. It's taken something like this, which is obviously a horrendous event that's going around the world. You know, people are losing their lives, people are getting ill, it's affecting families, it's affecting not seeing people, you know, mental health, all sorts of things are being affected by it, and it's something that we don't have control of. However, you know, aside from that, we have to look at our lives and we have to look at society and think, what are we grateful for? Okay, it's things that we took for granted, which I don't think we ever will now, okay? So things like going to see your friends or popping to see your family or just meeting up with your mates, you know, things like that. And this video hopefully illustrates that for you. I remember at the start of this lockdown period, Miss Pritchard did an assembly and she talked about what we're grateful for. And on that message, I said I was grateful to spend so much time with my wife and my son, which still goes today. You know, I'm so grateful for that. And it's one thing which I can look at and I'll look back on and say this period of time was crazy, but I was grateful for that at least, okay? So it's about trying to find the positive in everything. You know, like I said, we have had to change the way we live our lives completely, and readjusting is going to be difficult. It's almost become normal now to do these things that we weren't used to doing. So, for example, I went to the shop yesterday, and it was the first time in 2 months I didn't have to queue up. You know, every time I've been shopping to get things in for the house, I've had to queue for at least 20 minutes, half an hour, and the queue's been almost out of the car park. Yesterday, I didn't have to do that, and I almost felt, oh, this is strange. Should I be doing this? Am I in the right place? Am I, you know? So that's almost become normal for us. We've had to adjust our lives completely, and it is going to be a bit strange going back to normal whenever that might be. But I'm hoping that when that does happen, you know, we will look at the world and look at society around us and think, you know, we're really lucky to have all this, and then there is hope, okay? So I'm hoping you enjoy the video, hoping you get something from it. It's a nice little positive message, so please take the time to watch it. From my point of view, you know, please contact me if you need any support with anything of my email address. That'll be at the end of this video. I'm still running my support group on Teams. If you want to be added to that, please drop me an email and I can add you to that, no problem. I'm still doing the wellbeing checks for year 9 once a week, so please tell us how you're feeling so that we can support you in any way. And you know, just take care and stay safe. From Mrs. Thomas and Mr. Longdon, just keep up with the remote registrations as well. Any way of contacting us and any way that you want to speak to us, just let us know, and hopefully we can be there for you, okay? So yeah, that's my assembly for this week, and have a lovely weekend. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.
It's interesting that the things we cherish most are the same things we walk right by. They become so intertwined in the status quo that ultimately it becomes impossible to tell them apart from our day-to-day. That is, impossible until things change. Because as it turns out, that thing we call life, it has a say. There's a saying, you never really know what you have until it's gone. And Sometimes it takes the most abrasive of reminders, the harshest of times, to help us recapture that perspective, to lift us up and show us what we had previously failed to see. And while our darkest moments test our strength, they push our boundaries, even transform our reality, they can also be the bridge that leads us exactly where we need to be. They remind us that sometimes it's not about how we spend our time, but who we spend it with. That quiet brings clarity, and the world can spin so fast that we forget to think about our place within it. It reminds us how humanity is bigger than the sum of its parts, and it takes just as much energy to build up as it does to tear down. It reminds us that no matter where we live, what we speak, or who we pray to, we're not so different after all. It reminds us that there is so much more good in this world than evil, so much more love than hate, and so much promise for tomorrow. Someday we'll look back on this moment with the lessons we've learned, the hardships we've faced, and we will be reminded of the miracle that is the human spirit, unwavering in its resolve, unbreakable at its foundation, stronger than we could ever comprehend. See, sometimes it's hard to look around and find a reason to be optimistic, to understand or comprehend why. But what we'll find is that if we look hard enough, immersed in the uncertainty, the disruption, and in some cases, the tragedy, there's something to be gained. A tiny candle flickering in the night that will eventually grow to light our way. Because that road to tomorrow is paved with hope. There are pages unwritten, stories untold, and a new chapter